Very glad to be here this morning with a few people that are here. Ever getting bigger, you can come in, you can come practice. But if you're joining online, thank you so much for coming as well. And I hope that you have as beautiful a space at your home as we do here. For our practice today, obviously a mat, some water, and if you have some blocks, we're going to be playing with blocks today just to get deeper into the practice and allow for our bodies to come down to blocks if they can't come down to the earth. Okay, why don't you settle in and find a nice seat. And we can take a few deep breaths into our bellies today, allowing for the bellies to expand, the diaphragm pulling down, down, down towards the pelvic floor. And as we reach the end of our inhalation, allowing for the chest to rise and fill, fill, fill. Find that sweet suspension at the top, and then exhale, release. And at the end, pull the belly back towards the spine, diaphragm pulling up, getting rid of all the air that's in there. So while you continue to breathe long and deep, forever making your inhale longer, deeper, and making your exhale totally profound, finding that sweet spot between inhalation and exhalation. I will read to you from the Heart of Buddha's Teachings. When we hear a Dharma talk or study a sutra, our only job is to remain open. Usually when we hear or read something new, we just compare it to our own ideas. If it is the same, we accept it and say that it is correct. If it is not, we say it's incorrect. In either case, we learn nothing. If we read or listen with an open mind and an open heart, the rain of the Dharma will penetrate the soil of our consciousness. The gentle spring rain permeates the soil of my soul. A seed that has lain deeply in the earth for many years just smiles. While reading or listening, don't work too hard. Be like the earth. When the rain comes, the earth has only to open herself up to the rain, allowing the rain of the Dharma to come in and penetrate the seeds that are buried deep in your consciousness. A teacher cannot give you the truth. The truth is already in you. You only need to open yourself, body, mind, and heart, so that his or her teachings will penetrate your own seeds of understanding and enlightenment. If you let the words enter you, the soil and the seeds will do the rest of the work. So this is really apt for spring because now is the time that the seeds start to be penetrated by the rain and perhaps start to open and the sprout come to the light and root down into the earth to find sustenance. So let's use that metaphor. If you need to come up, I forgot to say, but Talia, thank you so much. If you need to come up onto a block to sit, it's quite comfortable if you can get your knees lower than your hips. And let's take that beautiful inhalation and exhalation that you've been working with and start to move it into an Ujjayi breath. So hands down if you need to be more grounded, centered, or if you're feeling fearful or anxious. Hands up if you would like to receive. And then if it feels good in either position, bringing the forefinger and thumbs to touch. Slight pressure between those fingers in Gyan Mudra. And as we inhale, see if we can a little bit constrict the back of the throat. And that'll make an oceanic sound. And as we exhale, we'll constrict again, and we'll hear the same sound as the air exhales or exits through the nose. Inhale, hear that sound in the back of the throat. The slight constriction will warm the air before it reaches the lungs. It also makes our inhalation and exhalation longer. And it gives our mind a place to rest or focus on the sound created by the breath we breathe. It reminds us to breathe in our yoga poses. As your mind wants to hear the sound of the ocean created by your breath. And should it stop hearing that sound, you'll be aware that you're not breathing. Remember, we've come here to breathe. Low, long, and deep. Low. Slow, long, and deep. And to connect our body and our minds to the rhythm and cadence of this gentle sound and this gentle feeling. I want you to think about what seeds you'd like to bring some rain to this spring. They may be seeds that have been laying dormant in your consciousness for a long, long time. But now might be the time to send them some rain and have them reach for the light. And using our conscious intention, we can make that happen. Hands together in prayer at the heart. And find the sternum with your thumbs. Allow for the fingers to fall forward. Let's take the shoulders up, down, and back. Up, back, and down. One more time. And then leave them down by the sides. Shoulders pulling away from the ears. Inhale deep in the belly, and we'll exhale with the sound of Om. Beautiful resonance. All right, to begin, let's bring our hands down onto our shins or ankles. Let's warm up the spine. Inhale, the chest forward. Exhale, the chest comes back. Keep the head or chin parallel with the earth. We're not ready to use the head yet. Really try and center the movement in the chest, moving forward and back. And you can use your oceanic breathing to remind you that you're still breathing and moving at the same time. Allow for your body to come to the front of your sits bones and then to the back of your sits bones as your chest leads the way, getting deeper, feeling that heat rise in your spine. We're going to get you good and warmed up today because our class is going to involve a lot of twists. And before we get into any twisting action, we want to make sure that our backs are good and warmed up. All right. Coming down on your hands just for a second, kicking your feet back and sitting on your heels. Again, if this is difficult, you can take that block, place it between your legs and sit on it. And that might make it easier. 2 blocks is fine. All right. Now, with hands on the knees, we're going to do that same motion, but now you'll feel it instead of in your lower back, in your upper back, right in the area between your shoulder blades. Inhaling forward, exhaling back. And if you want to close down your eyes during these longer sequences, and we're not moving too much, we're doing repetitive movements, you can feel free to do so. If your eyes want to travel up and into your third eye center and connect with that intuitive space of knowing, that's often nice. Coming to a straight back. Just leave those hands as they were. We'll inhale the chin up to the sky, really stretch the neck. Exhale, chin to chest. Head back through center, and then we'll inhale, turn to the left, look over that left shoulder, lead with the chin, exhale, turn to the right, like you're really trying to parallel park like a superstar. You can hear all those crickle crackles. That's a good thing. Just working out all of the atrophy that our neck gets from staring at the phone and the computer, everything in front of us, but nothing to our periphery, right? Head back through center, and now we'll drop left ear, left shoulder, and then right ear, right shoulder. And you can coordinate the breath with the movement. Head back through center. Bring your hands onto your shoulders, fingertips in the front, thumbs in the back. We'll turn to the left, inhale, turn to the right, exhale. And imagine that your body is just like a spring. So as you get to full torsion on that spring, it springs back in the opposite direction. Back through center. Drop that right hand down to the side. Inhale, left arm overhead. And then inhale through center. Exhale, come over to the other side. So you're inhaling into your intercostal space. That area between your ribs. Remember to stretch your armpit. We have to stretch our armpits every day because that's where a lot of lymphatic drainage happens. See, the lymph doesn't have its own muscle or its own pump. Turns out that the musculature of your body pumps your lymph. So you have to move in order to be healthy. Or get frequent massages, whichever one you can afford. I think that's okay. All right. Now come up to seated, and we're just gonna do a couple of things to get us ready for the rest of our practice. This block can come in front of us, or if you don't have a block, put your hands up, no big deal. But we want to talk about putting our shoulders into the shoulder joint, okay? So a lot of times when we're doing yoga, we're doing a lot of hands up overhead today, right? A lot of times when we're doing yoga, people put their hands up overhead and they put their shoulders up to their ears. This is incorrect and not so good for our joints. So let's practice flossing out our joints with our arms in front of us. We're going to stick the elbow joints out, the shoulder joints out of the sockets and then pull them back in. Stick them out, pull them back in. And this is called flossing your shoulders. And it's as good for your shoulders as flossing is for your teeth. Which I can't believe anyone ever said isn't good for you, because it definitely is. So try and cultivate that feeling in the body of what it feels like to have your shoulders back in their sockets. And now put them back in the sockets. Inhale, arms up, keep them in the sockets. Exhale down. Inhale up, and now try and bring your hands behind you, keeping your elbows in the sockets or shoulders. Let's get those mixed up as much as you possibly can. Slight opening through the chest, fantastic. And then bring the block down. We're gonna bring it behind us. So another thing that happens naturally as we do this all of the time, or whatever kind of job that you have that you hunch, is you take and you bring this internal rotation in. So we're going to try and work an external rotation with the shoulders today in our downward dog, in our Tadasana, and everything we do. So bringing the block behind us, externally rotating the shoulders so that you're open across the collarbones. Try and pull that block apart behind you. Like you're going to pull it apart. I believe that it's going to be okay. I will pay for any broken blocks, but I believe that we're not going to be able to pull these blocks apart. I'm betting on it. But try your darndest. I got my money on it. All right, release that block and feel the sensation of what it feels like to have your collarbones open. Okay, we'll come back to that a few times. So if I talk about collarbones opening, external rotation, or bringing the shoulders back into their sockets, you know what I'm talking about. All right, let's come down off of those heels. We need to do a couple more warm-ups and we'll get into our practice. We all love Sufist grinds. They're so much fun and they're so good for you. So let's inhale, bringing the chest down to the right knee. Exhale, round to the left and back. And so I had someone kind of ask me, you know, it doesn't make sense to inhale when we're leaning forward, but it does if you're leading with your heart. Your abdomen should be more open in this position than it is when you're actually going back. Because when you're going back, you're rounding the spine. And when you're going forward, you are extending the spine over those legs. And let's see if we can't hear some beautiful wave noises coming from your Ujjayi or ocean breath. And then you're just a beach umbrella, digging yourself deeper into the sand, getting ready for a beautiful day on the beach. Perhaps you hear seagulls. Better hide the picnic basket. I'm feeling funny today. And go around the other direction. Come back up through center. We'll do the same thing with the head. head now goes in a big circle. We're going to be mindful when we extend it back that it extends backwards instead of crunching instead of crunching the cervical vertebrae. So don't just plop your head backwards, but instead extend it backwards, being careful, really feeling like you're kind of regally raising your head rather than plopping it back. And the inhale is when the head is regally extended back through that upward facing nose. And the exhale, chin to chest. Another direction when you get to a good place to reverse. And then we'll sit straight up and feel how wonderful it feels to have our whole back be warmed up and our neck be warmed up, our hair all in our face. Okay. Take those hands forward, close the ego thumb finger into the other fingers, and we'll take them around in a circle. So we're going to come into hands and knees in just a second. And this causes a lot of people strain and strife because they're on their computers or they're pianists or just life hasn't been kind to their wrists. So there's a lot of different things that we can do here. First off, we're just warming up the wrist to get ready for it. But you can come onto fists whenever you want to instead of onto the palms of your hands. Or you can come onto blocks, as I will show you in just a second. So let's open those hands up. Stretch fingers away from fingers. Close them into fists. Stretch. Close, stretch, close, stretch, close, and then bring them down to the earth with the fingers extended, middle fingers forward. And I'll show you your options here. So either palms to the earth, or we can take fists, right, with the palms facing towards one another. Or you can take blocks and simply hang your hands off of those blocks. Whatever is the variation that feels good to you. You could even put your hands on top of blocks. That's going to be my variation for today. Let's inhale, drop the chest and raise the chin up. Now, in this position, where are your shoulders? Are they in the sockets? Are they pushed out of the sockets? Push them back into the sockets. Have that nice external rotation so your collarbone's shining forward. Now, when you do this, what's going to want to happen in your hands naturally is they're going to want to pull up and create this little pocket between your thumb and forefinger. I want you to work against that. Press your thumb and forefinger into the ground while you're still externally rotating. So biceps forward, triceps back. And then put your shoulders back in the sockets. Lots to think about. Keep it there this whole time as we exhale down into cat. And then inhale back into cow. And then take yourself back to a flat back. Just one more chest exercise before we begin. The chest didn't get to go around in a good circle. So let's try and do that. So it's kind of like a cat-cow. As you inhale into cow, and then you exhale into cat, but you're taking your chest around in a big circle as you do that. And if your head wants to move opposite that, let it do that naturally. And then we'll go around the other way. I like just one more. The hips will come down, inhale into cobra, and then we're gonna exhale, take them around in a big circle, push them back towards the heels, inhale, and come back into cobra pose, or a plank on the knees, more like it. I like to warm up a lot in the morning. Oh, and if you don't have like a blanket under your knees, it is nice because we're going to be spending a good amount of time on our knees today rather than on our feet. And then go around the other direction. Back into hands and knees. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale to cow. Tuck your toes underneath behind you. Press back to an extended child's pose. And then we will inhale and press up to downward facing dog. So this is nice if you're on blocks. It's easier because you can kind of bring yourself up a little bit further. But let's start on the balls of our feet and bend our legs a lot. Press in to those hands. Press the forefinger and thumb side down, and then do your external rotation. Triceps back, biceps forward. The shoulders are in their sockets. Good, you got that. You're pressing the tailbone up. Once you have that, try and extend the knees. If you can get there, then try and bring the heels back down to the ground. And wherever you're at in your down dog today, that's okay. You can bend one knee and extend the alternate heel to the earth, walking out your dog. And warming up your ankles and toes. And then we'll inhale, lift the right leg up. Exhale, bring the right foot to the right of the right thumb, to the left of the right thumb, I'm so sorry. And then exhale, bring the other leg up to meet it. We're in a forward fold. So in this forward fold, it's quite nice to have your blocks here. You can inhale, press into those blocks, come up to a flat back, and pull the chin back so that the back of the neck is extended. And then we'll exhale and round down over those legs. And we're just in a forward fold here. If you'd like to grab opposite elbows, perhaps sway a bit, just really allowing for the back to hang on the hinge of the hips. Make sure your neck is relaxed. You can shake it no and yes. And using that heavy head to help you just extend your back. If you need to bend your knees, please do so. And then we can bring our hands onto our hips, and remembering that flat back position, we'll bend into our knees. Inhale, extend out of the hips with a flat back, pressing into the feet, come all the way up to standing. All right, Tadasana. So we're going to press into those feet and even pull the toes up. And when we do that, then we're going to have this nice arch underneath our feet. And we're going to find the place where the hips are just right over those feet, and then raise the chest up. Here we go with our external rotation, bringing that collarbone open. And then tuck the chin back. Your quads are engaged. Your core is engaged because it's the core, it's that strong core that allows you to lift your heart. Couple breaths here. We're going to cultivate a grateful mind, pressing into those feet, rooting into the earth. Let's inhale and think of something we're grateful for. And let it rain down the seeds of our intentions as we bring our hands together and into prayer at the heart. 4 more times. My favorite number is 5. Remember, as you bring your arms up, keep those shoulders in their sockets. And keep your hands externally rotated, keeping your heart open. With a grateful heart, inhale those arms up. This time they're going to turn the hands out. And with that collarbone open, really dive down with the heart. Dive down to the legs on an exhale. Inhale, hands on blocks or on the thighs. And bring the crown of the head forward so you're in a 90-degree angle from the earth. Exhale, hands come down to the earth or to the blocks. Inhale, the right leg steps back. And drop the back knee. And tuck the toes. Inhale, arms up. A couple breaths here. I want you to make sure your right hip is pulling forward, your left hip is pushing back. Your core should be engaged, shoulders down into their sockets. If it feels good, you can bring palm to palm. Inhale, and then exhale, drop your hands down to behind your back. A couple of different things we could do here. We're going to interlace the hands. If you cannot get palm to palm, it's okay. Just interlace the fingers. But if you can get palm to palm, do so. And we're going to work on that external rotation of the heart. External rotation of the shoulders, opening across the heart. Couple breaths here. Inhale, release the clasp of the hands, bring them up. Exhale, hands to the blocks or to the floor. Tuck the back toes and press up. Exhale to downward facing dog. Inhale, drop those knees, come into cow. Untuck the toes. Exhale to cat. Inhale to cow and tuck those toes. Exhale, extended child's pose. Inhale, downward facing dog. Exhale. 2 more breaths here. And then inhale, left leg reaches up. Exhale, and that left foot comes to the right of the left thumb. Drop the back knee. Untuck the toes. And inhale, arms up. 3 breaths. Shoulders into their sockets. Heart open. Left hip pulling back, right hip pushing forward. And then we'll inhale, drop the hands to the sides. Whatever way you clasped your fingers the last time, do it the other way. And then press the palms away from you, open through the chest. A couple breaths here. Inhale, arms up. And exhale them down to the block or the floor. Tuck the back toes underneath you. Press back. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale your right leg up. And bring it to the top of the mat between your hands. And bring your left leg to meet it. Two ways to come up here. We're going to inhale, come to a flat back, and exhale, come back down to our legs. You can either bend into those legs, bring your hands up to your hips, and come up with a flat back, if that feels good. Or you can bend into those legs and round, if that feels good. You get to choose. Inhale, arms up. And exhale, turn them outside and swan dive back down to the earth. Inhale, hands under the blocks or the thighs, press up. Exhale, hands down to the earth. This time, inhale, left leg back. Exhale, right leg back. Top of a push-up or in plank. If this is too hard to hold, you can always bring your knees down, but I want your back straight. So holding here for a few breaths, just activating our core, pressing down through the forefinger and thumb side of the hand, bringing biceps forward, triceps back, making sure that our shoulders are in their sockets, and then really activating through the core so that you are not sagging or up in a tent, but you are planked. And then we're going to inhale. Exhale, bring the knees down, and then bring the chest, shoulders hover, and finally the chin. Extend the legs out behind you. Inhale, using the strength in your arms and your back, bring yourself up into a baby cobra. Exhale, bring the head back to the earth. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhale, press into the earth, but really use your back muscles to bring you up. Exhale, down. And then tuck your toes behind you. Press up into your hands, into hands and knees. Inhale into cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, extended child's pose. And inhale into downward facing dog. Couple breaths here, making sure the shoulders are in their sockets. And we are doing that beautiful external rotation of the shoulders. Your forefinger and thumb side of the hand are also pressing into the mat. Your neck is relaxed. And if you can activate your oceanic breathing. All right, inhale, right leg up. And we'll bring it forward to the left of the right thumb. Drop the back knee down. Untuck the toes. Inhale the arms up. And this time, we're going to bring the left arm forward, right arm back, twisting towards the knee in the front. Core side backwards, of course. Thought I had that worked out. All right, here we are in a twist. Couple breaths here. Now that back right hand is going to reach down for the left thigh, and the left hand's going to come overhead. Inhale back into that twist. Exhale, place the left hand down to the right side of the foot and raise the right arm overhead. Couple breaths in this twist. Maybe the gaze wants to look up towards those fingers. And on your next inhale, we'll come up and bring the arms overhead. Exhale, hands down to both sides of that foot. Tuck the back toes under and come back into downward facing dog. This time, inhale, left leg up. Exhale, bring it to the inside of the left hand. Drop the back knee. Inhale, arms up. And exhale, right hand forward, left hand back into a twist. Inhale, left hand drops down towards the right thigh, right arm comes overhead. Inhale, back with the twist. And drop the right hand next to the foot. The left arm reaches up to the sky and perhaps the gaze follows. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, arms down to either side of that foot. Tuck the toes in the back. Press back to downward facing dog. And we'll inhale the knees down, come into cat. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cat. Exhale, take a child's pose. And let's untuck those toes and stay here for just a second. Bring the arms down by the sides, palms face up. Bring the third eye to the earth. And really just breathe long, slow, and deep. Calm your mind, calm your breath. Bring the hands up by the sides of the face and press up into hands and knees. Inhale into cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow, tuck the toes. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg up. Exhale, bring it between the hands. And the left comes to follow. Inhale into a flat back. Exhale, down to the earth. And either hinging at the hips, coming up, or slowly rolling up to standing. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, dive down. Inhale, press up to a flat back. Exhale, hands to the earth. Inhale, right leg back. And drop the knee, untuck the toes. Inhale, arms come up. And we're going to come again into that twist. So right arm forward, left arm back. You can just stay reaching here as that right foot reaches for the left hand. But that's fine. If you can grab onto it, grab onto it. Release the foot, and we'll bring the hands to either side of that front foot, tuck the toes in the back, and press up. Press the front foot or the front leg straight. See if we can't extend our body. Inhale, extend the back long, and then exhale, extend our body along that front leg. If you want more here, you can pull the toes up towards the face. And once again, we'll bend through that front leg and press our way back to downward facing dog. Couple breaths here. Inhale, bring the knees down, come up into cat. Exhale into cat. Inhale into cow. Exhale, extended child's pose. Inhale, downward facing dog. This time we'll bring the left leg up and bring it between the feet. Did I do that wrong? I'm just trying to be right here. Did you have left leg last time?
Nope.
Nope? How did I do this wrong? Okay. And we'll come up. It's hard to face the camera the whole time, right? Mm-hmm. So now, twist. And try, no, this is what we did last time. Yeah, that makes more sense. Okay, so right foot forward, that makes more sense. I'm trying to be there for the camera. My head's all in different places. Okay, good. So arms come up, and then we'll drop the right arm back, left arm forward. Couple of breaths here. And then if that left leg wants to try and come up and meet that right hand, you could just stay right there in the trying, or actually grab it. And then release that foot. And we'll bring our arms up through center, drop them to either side of the right leg, tuck the toes in the back, and come up, extending the right leg and dropping the head towards the knee. Let's do that thing again where we press up onto our fingertips, extend the back straight, and then exhale over that front leg. And if you brought the toes towards the face on the other side, do it on this side because it feels so good. Get more into your calf muscle. Remember your oceanic breathing. Bending through the front leg, coming into a lunge, and then pressing back to downward facing dog. I'm going to take the palm prints a little bit, one palm print back towards the feet. And then this right hand is going to reach underneath the body and try and grab the outside of the left heel or ankle. You grab the ankle, or you can actually grab under the foot and grab the heel. Releasing the right hand back to the mat and taking the left hand, diving in between, under the body, either grabbing the heel or underneath. Either grabbing the ankle or underneath the heel. Placing the left hand, dropping the knees down, possibly walking the hands one palm print forward. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. And just come back to a flat back. We're going to raise the left arm up, reach up, look up, and then that left arm's going to dive between the right hand and the right knee. Come down, and we'll come onto the outside of that left shoulder. You can leave the right hand right where it is. You can reach it overhead and come onto a tent with the fingertips. You can bring it on top of the left hand. You can reach it up over the body and grab the left thigh, whatever feels right to you. Bring the right hand back in front of the face, palm face down. Press into it. Bring your body back up. 2 hands and knees, and we'll go to the other side. This time the right arm reaches up. And then it dives down. And we come on to the right shoulder. Whatever you did with the right hand on the left side, do it with your left, either reaching forward up overhead, placing palm to palm, or bringing the arm around the back, grab it onto the thigh. Place the hand in front of the face and press on that. We're going to tuck the toes behind us, come into a plank pose once more. Inhale here. And then drop your knees and your chest and your chin. On an exhale, extend your legs out. Inhale, baby cobra. And come on down. Let's bring the hands in front of the face and rest the head on the hands. Go ahead and toggle your hips back and forth. Release the back. Let's inhale the right knee out to the side. And feel into that stretch of the hip opening, which feels so good. And then we're going to slightly lift our head up, and we're going to take this left hand and bring it under the body and open up the right arm to the right, and there we are in a spinal twist. Right hand, arm comes back overhead, and we'll come back onto our bellies. Resting the head on the back of the hands, bringing the left knee out to the left, breathing into that hip opening. Relaxing the shoulders away from the ears. And then pressing up, bringing your right arm under the body and extending the left arm up overhead for a spinal twist. And this time we'll just come rolling over onto our backs. And bring the knees in towards the buttocks for one bridge pose. Arms down by the sides. We'll press into the heels, press the pelvis up, and then try and wriggle the arms underneath the body, trying to come up onto the shoulders, maybe clasping the hands beneath the body. 3 breaths, big oceanic breaths. And your last breath in, unclasp those hands, come off the shoulders, and exhale, bring yourself back down to the mat. Inhale, knees to chest. Exhale, extend the feet up towards the sky and bring the arms up. Bring the knees down to the armpits and grab those feet from the outside. Really press the back into the mat as you try and bring those knees down to the earth with the hands. You can rock back and forth here. You can extend one leg and then the other. And then we'll release those feet and bring the legs down to the mat. And we're ready to relax. So if you need to pick up your hips and drop them back down, pick up your chest, drop it back down, and just allow for your feet to flop out and your arms to flop out away from your body. I want you to consciously relax the soles of your feet and the palms of your hands. Soles of feet, palms of hands. Relax the area between the eyes and send that relaxation into the inner eye, the outer eye, and let it drip down into your ears. Relax the area between your eyes, inner eyes, outer eyes, into the ears. Relax your tongue away from your upper palate and relax your pelvic floor. Tongue and pelvic floor. And then the wave of relaxation will travel from your toes up through your feet into your lower legs, knees, upper legs, buttocks, pelvis, belly, chest, back, shoulders, down the arms, to the hands, each and every finger, back up the arms, into the neck, all throughout the scalp, the forehead, the whole face. Relax your breath and your thoughts. Sink into the mat. to wiggle fingers and toes. Rotate wrists and ankles. And extend your arms overhead. Big inhale, stretching from fingertips to toe tips. Exhale, pulling the knees into the chest. Inhale, extend your left arm up overhead. And exhale, bring your knees over to the left and lay your head on top of that left arm. The right hand can come down to the chest, right on top of your heart. I want you to say some kind words into your heart. Let that kind vibration travel down from your head, through your arm and into your heart. Nourish those seeds. And you can take that hand, bring it down to the earth, and press your way on up to seated. Slowly allowing for the head to be the last thing to come up. We'll stay very within with our eyes closed, finding a comfortable seated position and bringing those hands to the heart in prayer pose. Finding the heart with the thumbs, allowing the fingers to fall forward and rolling the shoulders back and down. We'll end as we began with the sounds of ah, oh, Feel them in your heart. Feel them in the center of your head and feel them right at your lips, where your lips come together. Know this is the sound of creation. It's another nourishment for your seed. We are sound. We are light. We are energy. Let's make some noise. Inhale deep. It's been so wonderful to practice with you today. This class keeps growing. Everything keeps getting better, and this spring feels so wonderful. I hope you say a big thank you to yourself for practicing aligning your breath and your body and saying some powerful and kind things to yourself, because that's the one control we have in this very control-free existence where we're just free floating. So good job, you. I honor the light that resides in each and every one of you, in front of me and out there in TV world, because it is the same light that resides in me, for we are all interconnected, interbeing, we are all one. Namaste.